You guys gotta see this. Look at this. Look at how ridiculous this setup is. Oh yeah. If you guys want to help me out and help me replace my microphone, you can drop a like on this video. That would be a big help. I would appreciate it very much. Let's go. Hey guys, Kier here, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial. It's a tutorial day, and it's going to be a fun one. Now, I'm not the best at magic or cardistry, but I know a few things, and there's definitely a few things that I know that I love knowing. They're fun to fidget with, they're fun to do. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys a fun little cardistry move. Basically, this is a simple packet flip. It looks really flashy. It gets the cards in the air. They do a little bit of a flip. You can catch them. It looks really good. It's just kind of a fun thing to do when you're messing around with the deck. As well, I will be announcing the giveaway winner from the giveaway that was part of my last tutorial. So for those of you that entered and suggested names for that little fidget move that I did, thank you so much. A lot of your entries were really good. Some of them were really boring, but in general, it was a really fun experience, and I had a lot of fun reading those comments and those naming suggestions. I did pick my favorite one, so stick around to the end of the video and see if I picked it. Now, I guess a trend in my cardistry tutorials is that I don't have names for a lot of this stuff. This is another flourish that I don't really have a name for. It's just, there's so many different ways that you can do it. There's more advanced ways. It's kind of just a simple move that you can work in with a lot of different packet cuts. So grab some cards, like the video, and let's take a look at it. Okay, now in order to do this flourish, you're gonna need the Generation 1 playing cards by me and my good buddy Luke Wadey. I'm just kidding, but grab whatever your favorite deck of cards is. My favorite deck is the Generation 1 deck. If you guys are interested in learning more about these, by the way, stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you some info. Okay, so by this point in the video, you guys have definitely already seen what the flourish looks like, but just to give you another idea, it's basically just a dribble, a half fan, a deck flip, and then you close it. Now, there are some prerequisites for this, and I would also recommend using maybe an older deck or a clumpier deck of cards if you're just learning some of these moves, because it will make some of the moves that you're gonna do much easier. So the prereqs that you are going to need are going to be as follows. You're gonna need to know the dribble, just a standard variation of the playing card dribble. Some people do it with their finger curled on the back like that. Some people do it with their finger on the side like that, but you're gonna wanna know that general action, okay? I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I'm assuming if you're learning this, you can already do it, but just for context, basically what you're doing is you're just holding the cards and you're dropping them one by one, like that. All right, so you're gonna need to know that. You're also going to need to know how to do a half fan or a one-handed fan. Basically, you're gonna have about half of the cards and you're gonna wanna know how to do that, okay? Again, that's something you should probably know how to do before looking at this tutorial, but just to give you an idea, I'm essentially taking half of the packet, switching grips to this, and then using pressure from my thumb and pushing in with my middle, kind of pushing towards each other to create a fan. All right, so you need to know the dribble and you need to know the one-handed fan. And that is really the only prerequisite. There is a more advanced handling of this flourish that looks like that, that requires knowing like Sybil and a few other cuts, but we'll get into that if this video does well. To get into it, we're gonna start with the dribble. So you're gonna hold the cards like this. Now again, you should already know this, so I won't go too deep into the detail, but you wanna riffle down about half of the cards into your left hand, okay? Or whatever your not dominant hand is. So we're gonna go about halfway. Once we've got about half the cards, we're gonna take our right hand, okay? And we're gonna switch grips. We're gonna go from here to hooking our index and pinky on the sides, so that way we're relatively free to move around, okay? That is gonna help us set up our one-handed fan. Once we've got half the cards, we're gonna regrip, index, pinky, they're making a hook. And now we're gonna take our thumb and produce the fan. So the two moves really go right into each other. They flow really smoothly depending on how fast you do them. Sometimes you have to reposition your hand or your wrist, and sometimes it helps to just kind of show the card. So you can go like this, angle down to help you regrip, and then when you come back up, you can do your fan. And now what we're gonna do, I guess this is another prerequisite, the Charlier cut. So that's definitely one you're gonna wanna know. Put some pressure with your thumb, and now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna push to the right, you're gonna push out basically, and you're gonna let your fingers just do what they naturally wanna do, which is gonna be close. So we dribble, regrip, hook, then we're gonna do a Charlier cut in the left hand, okay? So after we've got our one-handed fan. Now we've got about half of the stock here in our left hand. So what you're gonna do with your left is execute a half of a Charlier cut. You're not gonna close it yet though. You're gonna dribble, hook, make your fan, and then here you're gonna do a Charlier, but you're not gonna close it. Now you're just gonna bring in this half fan and connect so that that top packet drops onto the fan. And now you're left like this, and you're ready to launch. Dribble, regrip, half of a Charlier, drop that packet, okay? Now you've got a very small packet in your other hand. You've got a half fan, and it's kind of just holding and resting this top packet, okay? Now you will have a little bit of mobility, so it's okay if at first you're nervous and your hands are shaking. That's not gonna be a huge deal. The hardest part is gonna be launching it and catching it accurately. All right, so we're here. For the Charlier, by the way, I'm in elevated dealer's grip, and I'm just using my thumb to break off half of those cards, and then using my index to push up. Okay, so now I'm left like that. We're gonna bring this here, drop it on just like that, okay? Now, with this small packet that you have in your left hand, you're gonna move your left hand over here, and that's gonna allow you to kind of flip those cards and catch them. Now the flip is definitely the hardest part here. Everything else is fairly straightforward and pretty simple. The flip is really just gonna take time for you to figure out what works for you. Some people just like to drop it. Some people like to really launch it. If you get really good, sometimes you can do it twice in a row. So it really just depends on what you're comfortable with. I like to do kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't like to just drop it because I think it looks a little bit boring, but I don't like to completely throw it either. I like to just kind of give it a little nudge so it flies off. It gets some air, but it's a lot easier to control and a lot easier to catch. So again, we're gonna dribble half the cards. We're gonna regrip. Remember, we're hooking our pinky and index. We're gonna do a one-handed fan, and then simultaneously in the left hand, we're gonna do a Charlier, or half of a Charlier rather, okay? We're gonna come and grab that top packet, flip it, catch it, and then now we're left just like this. You can either do it again and continuously do it, or you can just close your fan right on top, and then you can go into whatever, whatever stuff you wanna do. But finding what's comfortable for you is gonna help. It really helps if you get into the habit of doing it over and over again, because eventually you'll know kind of with precision where to cut to make it the most effective. All right, and that is how you do that. Well guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. The tutorial was a lot of fun to teach. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Sometimes I get requests asking for tutorials, and then sometimes I do them and nobody watches them, so I never know what you guys want, but you can let me know if you liked it by, doing it. All right, so for the winner of the giveaway, there was a lot that I actually really liked, so I'm also gonna give you guys some shout outs in terms of runners up, but the winner, the one that I think works the most for me was by Tiki. So thank you, Tiki, for suggesting the name. We're gonna go with Click with a K. So henceforth, that little flourish fidget move that we're all doing since my last tutorial will be called Click with a K. Thank you, Tiki, for entering. Please do get in touch with me on Instagram so you can claim your prize. Also got to give a couple of shout outs here for other suggestions that I really enjoyed. So first shout out, I got to say thank you to Jeremy Hamby, and he suggested Switchblade for that little fidget move. And I think that one actually has a lot of vibe to it, and it kind of looks like you're flourishing with the switchblade when you do it. So really love that one. I might have to, I might have to invent a new variation just so I can steal that name. And finally, got to give a shout out to Adrian Heenerman. And he said to call it Chick Flick because it just sounds right. And I actually think that that's also a really cool name for that flourish. It's definitely something that I tossed around. I thought about, but maybe again, I'll invent a new variation just so I can steal it from you. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. Congratulations again to Tiki. So if that was you, if that was your comment, that it's probably on screen right now, definitely get in contact with me soon so I can get your giveaway winner package box thing to you. And as for the rest of you hooligans, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. By the way, if you guys were interested in these Generation 1 playing cards and you have not heard about these, it's your lucky day. There's a link in my description where you can pick them up. This was a collaboration deck between me and my friend Luke. The first deck in the series, Generation 2, coming one day, maybe. These are printed by the USPCC. They are on crushed stock, which is the preferred stock by most cardists. Fully custom, faces are custom, court cards are custom. Obviously the deck is very vibrant and neon, and I love it very much. So if you guys love it too and you want to get your hands on some, check out the link down below.